Kinzinger yesterday at a rally in Pennsylvania. Trump was speaking about immigration and the progress that he had made, and he said this.
But my world's favorite chart, done by the Border Patrol, it said we had the safest border in the history of our country the day that I left. I shouldn't have left. I mean, honestly, because we did so well.
You were on the January 6th committee. I mean, obviously, it's not just jokes when he says I shouldn't have left.
Well, that's the problem is people will say, well, he was joking when he said that. And I mean, every day there's a new having to describe something that he said as a joke. The reality is when you convince a significant amount of people that the election was stolen or that the president could just decide to stay, they cannot necessarily see what he's saying as a joke. And I think he doesn't mean it as a joke. But then they will actually take action. And that's what you saw on January 6th. Like I've often said this, if I truly believed that the election had been stolen, I would have been there in a different capacity, not as a congressman. I would have been on the steps of the Capitol if I thought legitimately the election was being stolen. So when leaders say something, especially somebody with authority who people trust, it has an impact on stability of democracy. And that's where it's the reason I'm so much for Harris, is because I think our democracy and the stability of that democracy is really the thing on the ballot and really so important.
At the same rally in Pennsylvania, Trump also said this about the bulletproof glass behind which he was standing. Take a listen.
And to get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news. And I don't mind that so much. I don't mind.
So, not to put too stark a point on it, but like a lot of people in the news media have who have covered critically Donald Trump have gotten death threats.
Yes, they have, and they've had threats in their homes where their children are. I mean, it's not funny actually. To what the congressman just said. I mean, there are people we know who don't take it as jokes, and being a leader means understanding that words have meaning. Words have impact, and understanding the potential impact of what you say and how people will react. But here's the other thing, Jake, that's been striking me. His rhetoric has been disintegrating, even for him. I mean, the way he was talking about Liz Cheney last week, and just the things that it's getting more violent, it's getting more harsh, even for him. And I think it's a reminder to people, if you get just a few seconds of it, what it was like when he was president, where you felt like, you know what, I don't want kids in the room because I don't know what he's going to say. And just that sort of feeling in your stomach, like, oh God, what's he going to say? Which has given a lot of space for the vice president to just stay positive.
So one of the things that is interesting is that unlike in 2016, and I think to a degree in 2020, he is not on message this time around.
Campaign is, but the candidate is
right. Yeah, but I mean, Donald Trump. I mean, he's able to be on message, or he has been on message in the past.
Mm-hmm.
He does not. He's not projecting like he thinks he's going to win. Honestly, like I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to win.
Or it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
That he is convinced, either Tony Fabrizio or somebody has convinced him that he is going to win. That he can say whatever he wants to at this point. I've been thinking about this. This to me is a vibe versus issues election.
Right.
And weirdly, the vibe election campaign is on the Harris campaign, and the issue election is the Trump campaign. They keep pressing immigration. They keep pressing inflation. Insecurity around the world. Those are the issues that the campaign of Donald Trump has been pressing. And Vice President Harris has been pressing this vibe. You know, he's too dangerous.
The abortion issue and the democracy issue.
Yes, but even the democracy issue is more of a vibe thing, that he's dangerous for democracy. And I'm gonna say something that will totally get me into trouble here. Yeah. Well,
Let's do it.
I do agree on the joke, non-joke on the media and the fake news and all of that. He's also the only person that's had two attempts on his life.
And it's horrible, but you don't see people in the news media joking about it.
No, you don't. You don't. But I also didn't see there's been when you look at the coverage that Donald Trump has received versus Vice President Harris, and I know, Media Research Center did this, and we can discount them as that, but the level of negativity towards Trump in the media versus the level of positivity in the media towards Harris is stark, and I think some people are seeing that. I don't in any way condone this,
Yeah.
but I think it's all part of the entertainment at the rallies.
But isn't
Well,
it?
let me bring in the
Yeah.
comment.
Shouldn't I mean? You're right. The former president had 2 attempts on his life, and I think every time we talk about that, we should condemn that.
It's horrible.
There is no right.
Absolutely.
There's no place for violence. But he should. That makes me say he should know better. Like the words have act. I mean, I was told by some people that I cannot call Trump fascist adjacent, or I can't say he's a threat to democracy because that is. I had a friend actually that texted me and said I'm responsible for the assassination attempt on Donald Trump because I'm saying that. Obviously, I fully disagree. But if you're going to put on us, if the Trump campaign is going to say you can't say anything harmful to Donald Trump, then how does he get a pass by saying, even if it's a joke, shoot through the reporters or beat that guy up or 9 barrels pointed at Liz Cheney? I mean, that it's just you've got to be consistent in it.
It also shows, I would just say, a totally different rhetorical political choice that he made from how he was in the immediate aftermath of that first assassination
Right.
attempt
Yes.
at the Republican convention to where he is now. So he has tried 2 different ways of how to behave after that, and he's landed on this one.
Can I just make